My father said he'd boycott my wedding if I didn't invite my sister who slept with my fiancé. So I replaced him with my grandfather and watched his entire world silently collapse. This month I married Zach, the man who has shown me what real love feels like. Most newlyweds would be somewhere tropical right now, sipping cocktails and forgetting the world exists. Instead, I'm here on Reddit, emotionally exhausted, because my father has spent the weeks since the wedding trying to destroy whatever peace I've finally found. I need to know, after everything he put me through, am I really the villain for finally saying, enough? Here's the full story. My mother died giving birth to me. My father was on a business trip hundreds of miles away when she went into labor early. There were catastrophic complications, massive hemorrhaging, and by the time he landed, the love of his life was gone, and all that remained was a newborn daughter. He had never laid eyes on me. From that moment on, he decided I was the reason his wife was dead. I get it. Grief can twist people, but he never tried to heal. Instead, he poured every ounce of his pain into resenting the baby who survived. My older sister, Mary, 4 years my senior, became his entire world. I became the living reminder of what he lost. He refused to look at me as an infant. He hired a full-time nanny so he wouldn't have to touch me, feed me, or comfort me. Mary says he used to tell visitors, "She looks too much like her mother, I can't stand it." While Mary was showered with affection, hugs, new clothes, and endless praise, I was invisible at best, punished at worst. By the time I was 10, I had been promoted to family maid. I cooked, cleaned, did laundry, and scrubbed floors, while Mary was told she needed to focus on her future. When I dared ask why I had to do everything, Dad's response was always the same. "Mary is going to college. You're not the academic type, better learn how to keep a house." If I wanted anything, a $15 sketchbook, a second-hand boots, anything, I was told I was selfish and ungrateful. Mary got whatever she pointed at. If something broke, Mary blamed me and Dad believed her without question. If I defended myself, I was disrespectful. Mary learned early that she could weaponize Dad's favoritism. She mocked my art, called me pathetic, told me Mom would be ashamed of me, and once screamed that everyone wished I had died instead of our mother. Dad never corrected her. He just watched. I started counting down the days until I could escape. The moment I graduated high school, I left for college on scholarships and never moved back. Distance helped. Dad and I exchanged the occasional polite text, but we weren't close. Mary, now in her late 20s, still lived at home rent-free with no steady job, no savings, and zero intention of changing that. Dad loved being needed by his princess. Then came the Thanksgiving I'll never forget. I brought my boyfriend of 2 years home for the holiday. Mary took one look at him and decided she wanted him. She flirted shamelessly, touching his arm, calling him gorgeous, joking that she couldn't believe her little ugly duckling sister landed someone like him. I pulled her aside and asked her to stop. She laughed in my face and told me I was paranoid. That night, after Dad went to bed, the three of us started a movie. Mary kept play-fighting with my boyfriend, practically sitting in his lap. He didn't stop her. Sick of being humiliated in my own father's house, I went to bed. He never came upstairs. I woke up early the next morning and found his side of the bed empty. Something told me to check Mary's room. I opened the door and saw them asleep together, clothes scattered on the floor, 2 empty wine bottles beside the bed. I lost it. I screamed, threw pillows, cried until I couldn't breathe. My ex babbled that they were drunk and it just happened. Mary didn't even pretend to be sorry. She yelled at me for barging into her room and told me to get out so she could put clothes on. No apology, no shame. When I told Dad, I thought foolishly that this time he would finally choose me. He looked shocked for about 10 seconds. Then he said, "They're adults. It was a mistake. You shouldn't have brought a man with such low character around your sister." He actually blamed me for the entire thing. That was the day I went no contact with both of them. Years later, Dad had a massive heart episode. Doctors saved him, but he needed extensive care. Mary did nothing. I, the daughter he had treated like garbage my whole life, stepped up. I paid the out-of-pocket bills, arranged in-home nursing, checked on him daily. For the first time, he saw who actually showed up for him. One night he cried and apologized for everything, the neglect, the favoritism, letting Mary get away with ruining my life. It felt real. Slowly, cautiously, we started rebuilding something. So when Zach proposed, I invited Dad to the wedding. I did not invite Mary. She had never once said sorry, never acknowledged what she did. She still bragged to cousins that she was better in bed than me. Hard pass. Dad immediately started campaigning. Mary has changed. This wedding could heal the family. You don't need a big apology, just let it go. When I said no, he delivered the ultimatum: invite your sister or I'm not coming, and I won't walk you down the aisle. I told him if he was willing to miss his daughter's wedding over the person who deliberately destroyed me, then he wasn't welcome either. I asked my grandfather, Dad's father, to walk me instead. Grandpa, who had watched me be scapegoated my whole life, accepted in a heartbeat and told Dad he should be ashamed. The wedding was perfect. Grandpa beamed the entire way down the aisle. At the reception, he stood up and announced he was gifting Zach and me his beloved lakeside vacation home, a place full of childhood memories for me. He said, "I know who truly values family in this room, and it isn't my son." Dad had always assumed he would inherit that house. Finding out his despised younger daughter got it instead broke something in him. Since the wedding, he and Mary have waged total war. They claim I stole the house, that I manipulated a senile old man. Grandpa is sharp as ever and had his lawyer draw up the deed months earlier. Dad blew up my phone calling me a thief, saying I had taken his wife, his parents' love, and now his inheritance. Last week, I finally agreed to meet him. I told him the house was legally mine and the conversation was over. That's when I asked the question I'd wondered my whole life. "Why have you always hated me?" He broke. He admitted he never wanted a second child. Doctors warned Mom the pregnancy was high risk. He begged her to terminate. She refused. When she died, he decided I had murdered her. Every time he looked at me, he saw her dying. Mary never reminded him of Mom, so loving her was easy. Loving me hurt too much, so he simply didn't. He thought the wedding would be his big redemption moment, walking me down the aisle, posting the perfect family photos, pretending the past never happened. When I replaced him with Grandpa, he said I robbed him of being a father one last time. I told him he lost the right to call himself my father decades ago. I said if he ends up in the hospital again, he can call the daughter he actually loves, the one who can't even pay her own phone bill. Then I walked out. He has sent essay-length apologies since, promising he'll change, begging me to be there next time he's sick because Mary won't be able to handle it. I haven't replied. Mary sent a raging message calling me a curse on the family and saying I killed our mother and now I'm killing Dad. I blocked her. Zach and I are focusing on our marriage, our new home, and the beautiful life we're building, one that finally has no room for people who spent years trying to tear me down. So Reddit, tell me honestly, am I the asshole for cutting them off for good? Because some days their voices still creep in telling me I'm selfish, ungrateful, and the reason my family is broken. But for the first time in my life, I'm choosing peace over punishment, and I refuse to feel guilty about it. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.